How you doing, everybody? And welcome back to the vlog. And yes, it is true. I have completely smashed and shattered my hammer's head into pieces. I'm going to show it to you right now and let you know exactly how I did that. So today I've been on the route. Today was Friday. Actually, this started back on Tuesday. And yes, I'm wearing glasses. I've had a little bit of an eye issue this week. Nothing to be alarmed about, but I have to wear my glasses. I have been very, very sensitive to the sunlight. So this is going a little bit into the reasons why my hammerhead was smashed into pieces. So this actually started on Tuesday. A little bit of a neglect. I went ahead and I mounted my hammerhead up to my trailer hitch, and I forgot to put the strap on it. As soon as I took off, I hit a bump. The hammerhead bounced around inside of the actual holding the top of the cart there, and it turned over and it smashed and it cracked it. So that started it all. Secondly, today I was dealing with an extreme case of eye sensitivity early in the morning. I've been up since 6:30, heading out to my accounts, and got to about my my 8th account. When I went to leave that 8th account, I actually had to turn back around to do a U-turn. So as I did that, the sun was blinding me in my face. It was very difficult for me, and I completely forgot about that. Literally about 25 to 50 yards away from the house, there's a speed bump. Now, the speed bump, I wasn't going no more than, I would say, 15, 20 miles an hour, right in between there. And I hit the speed bump. It's actually so funny because I was actually drinking water at that exact moment. And I hit the speed bump, and I was like, water went everywhere, all over me. And then as I looked back, because I felt the way that I hit the speed bump, doing about 15, 20 miles an hour with these, my half-ton truck. And in the trailer, I immediately looked back in the rearview mirror, and I just saw my hammerhead swing. It bounced off of the cart and swung off of the cart, and then it must have hit the ground, because all I saw was just pieces flying all up in the air. So let me show you exactly what happened to my hammerhead cart. As you can tell here, I've done various repairs before in the past on my cart, trying to keep it together as long as I possibly could. And this is fiberglassing that I've done repairs to the edging of it. So this hammerhead half has been with me for quite a while. But you could look at the shatter, and look how it just shattered it. It just completely broke off from both angles. Actually, this was the part on Tuesday. This was the part here that actually cracked first. Everything was still in place, but this was the part right here that had cracked. And obviously, when it hits the ground and it swings, my hammerhead swung. I saw it swing like this up in the air, and it just smashed, hit the ground, and must went all over the place. Now I have checked and made sure that the actual motor here was still working. Nevertheless, this is all like fiberglassing that from when I did it, but you can tell how much it just shredded into pieces. Now, I did buy the brand new halves that these are brand new from HammerHead that I picked up at my local distributor here, and these are the newer styles that came with manufactured. So today we're going to be taking apart the old, swapping the motor over, and rebuilding the new hammerhead. Right here, we're going to be reusing all the same wheels. The 6 wheels that we have them all intact. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we do have all the wheels. great thing when you do buy the halves, it does come with the inserts and all the screws and the nuts and the spacies in between. And it also comes with the bracketing that goes on the top. And when you buy two halves, it does come with two sets, so I'm going to be keeping the other set for myself, because you only need one set. As you can tell right here, you only need one set to go onto it. Also too, I'm going to be replacing the actual yoke itself, because my yoke, you understand something, I purchased my HammerHead originally I purchased my HammerHead. It was a used HammerHead. Some guy was selling his route, and I saw it at my local distributor there, and I purchased the whole entire HammerHead with the cart and everything. Obviously, it didn't have a deep cycle battery, and it didn't have the HammerHead motor itself was bad, so I had to replace those two items. So I bought it for $400. New motor was about $365, $375, somewhere around there, and then the battery was about 120. So it's like I bought a used, almost brand new HammerHead, but I've kept it ever since. This is the second half that I replaced. The tires were all replaced from before, but this was the original yoke that I've kept with the old one. But you could tell that it's very loose, and I checked it on the inside where the bolt goes to tighten this down, and the bolt is all stripped. So I purchased a brand new yoke I have here on the side that we're going to be installing. And as you can tell here, that's where the bolt is. So that bolt right there was all stripped on my original one. So you can see that we have comes with all new screws. So we're going to be installing this right now. Big guns here. I got to get this thing done. I got caught again in the dark time, as I am working all day, and I am working tomorrow. So really quickly, this is the half of the motor that I'm going to be taking off. We have two bolts on the back side, two screws actually on the back side, one here and one here, and then we have another one up here, same thing, and that's going to go in and release this motor from where it needs to be at. So that's what I'm going to be using a drill, and you can use Phillips screwdriver if you need to. Is Phillips screw and some good needle nose pliers to hold the bolt. Now, to hold your cord onto your yoke is one screw. Go ahead and take that off. And on the new yoke, I don't see it. It doesn't have it. On the new yoke, it doesn't have the screw. So you do want to keep your clamp to transfer that over to the new one. I'm just going to keep that one on there. So I don't need to take off the yoke, but I am going to be taking off the screws so I could remove my wheels. Let's remove these first here. Out of the way. Kind of difficult. There we go. All right. Same thing as I am keeping the wheels. And I'm going to probably be replacing them at a later time. Just going to get this up and running again so that I can work tomorrow. And I don't care about the spacing or nothing like that, because I have all new spacing on the new one. I'm just going to be keeping my wheels. that. And the wheels from the other one. Hold that more firm. Okay, that's done there. All right, I do gotta get to take these off from here. This bracket I'm not gonna worry about, but if you do need to transfer over the bracket for whatever reason, it does have one bolt underneath with the screw on the top. So that's what you'll need to be getting on both sides. And then for this, I believe this, to take this off, is a 1/2 inch socket right here, a 1/2 inch socket, and then you hold the other side and then it releases your, this we will be needing to keep the bolts and all the washers and everything. So that's what we're gonna do right now, is keep the bolts and the washers. And then the yoke, I'm not gonna be taking off the yoke because I bought a new one. Let me go get my tools there. All right, so got all my pieces in the side. I'm not gonna throw none of these pieces away. I'm gonna put that in a Ziploc bag and keep it, because sometimes, you know, these washers, these stainless steel washers, they're really good to keep. So, and most of these parts, you just never know sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off this. I just got a pair of straight pliers to hold the back nut right here. And then while we ratchet off this side right here. Make sure that I'm gonna be loosening. So with this, if you're transferring over your wheels, this is where you want to be kind of careful with, because they don't have these, this does not come with when you buy the halves for your hammerhead. There you go. So it's just a washer on one side. On the inside it has this spacer, so make sure you have that there. Washer and a spacer, so we can keep that in one area, and we're gonna go ahead and do the other side as well. See all this repairing that I was doing before? You can tell. See all the repairing? Yeah. Out with the old and in with the new is what they say, right? Do the same thing here on this side. This is where I was doing all the repairs. I have a lot more washers that I was trying to hold this corner together, because I had this whole corner completely was busted off that I did the repair on. So I was using smaller washers and larger washers to hold this end together. So it's just a matter of time. And the funny thing is, the other day I was looking at, I was gonna purchase the whole entire thing minus the motor, but you know, they say when you think of something you put in existence, it happens. So, but I elected, since I have the motor and I found out it came with all the other parts minus the wheels, I elected to go this route. Save myself about like 120 bucks going this route and just building it all together. So now the next thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the back half. The back is the one that doesn't have the, this is where the yoke goes onto. Okay, so here we're going to be taking off this, the I'm gonna call it the, these are the braces for the top of it where it seams together. I don't know the proper term for it, but these are the brackets.
Amy, you were supposed to drop your trailer off and go get my meds.
I know.
You were supposed to go get dinner.
I was supposed to do a lot of things, my love. All right, so this we're gonna have to come back. You heard the wife. Give me that seatbelt. Their pharmacy's closed, man. Well, I'll have to go get the food. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Get out the way. Okay, so let me ask you guys, right? As I picked up some food for us, for our family, got some sushi for the day. What would you guys have done if you're, excuse the lighting, what would you guys have done if your HammerHead machine or your main vacuum of choice for the day completely broke like the way that mine did? Hopefully you have a backup like I do. And no, I don't have a backup HammerHead. And I wasn't about to drive about, it would have been easily like 20 minutes away, and it would have killed probably about like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours out of my day to go and even get the parts, and then you would have had to put it together. So for me, that was not an option today. Hopefully you guys do have a backup, you know, at least a manual head with the hose, like I did. I was able to, what I did was I disconnected my HammerHead completely from the cart, took the HammerHead off from the battery completely, and then hooked up, put my HammerHead, the manual vac head inside of the, I call it the V-spot area, where the bag goes once you put up your HammerHead there. And then I put the my coiled up hose inside of there and strapped it over. So that's the way I was. And man, let me tell you, it's been a while since I've had to vacuum out pools on a consistent timing. I had about, how many pools did I have left that day from that time? I think I had like 12 more pools to go, and only 2 of them were 2 pools that I didn't have to vacuum. Different services that they offer, that we offer to them. Either chemical, I call it a chemical plus. It's basically you do everything to the pool minus vacuuming. I have another service that we offer as well. So, excuse me. Luckily, I had that manual vacuum there. Oh, the lighting got right better. And that's the way I did it. And man, but it's been a while getting back into that routine of manual vacuuming pools. What a change! What a change that is, man. I mean, when I first started, we didn't have HammerHeads back then. They were out, but we didn't have them. The company used to work for. And that's a video that I'm going to be doing like pretty soon. I've been writing things down. It's like, you know, how should you really start your own pool business? But it was quite weird to start all over again, man. Let me tell you what I did though. I netted the bottom of the pool, all the big stuff, the big clumpy stuff. I netted most of that out, so when I went to the manual vacuuming, it was a much quicker. Some people I see them, they fight with the pool, and they try to get everything through that. I think it's like an 1.25 inch inlet suction on the bottom of that manual vac head. But what would you guys have done? I would like to know. Put your comments down below. I'm gonna go in right now, getting back to my house, and once I finish eating dinner, I'm gonna come right back, and we're gonna be doing the final, the put back together, the reinstallation of the HammerHead. See you in a bit. All right, so the next thing we're doing is I'm back from eating. We're putting on the yoke. We took out the 4 screws and we started them on the back side here. So we're just gonna go ahead and line it up. And we gotta remember, this is how we're gonna mount this. We set it on the cart like this way. This is the way we're gonna mount it up. I'm gonna put it into the prefabbed holes already. And then we're gonna drill it in. I'm gonna get one. There we go. Okay. Back this one down just a little bit. And then you just go ahead and you tighten it all down. Little by little so it's all even. Until you have absolutely no spacing or gaps whatsoever. When that side's done, now we're gonna move on to the next. All right, still working with the back side. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna be putting on our wheels. As you notice, the hardware, we have the spacer in the center, and we have two washers on the outside. So the wheel is gonna sit right in the center of the two washers on either side, with the spacer going through the actual hole of the wheel bearing. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna take off this on both sides and install in our wheel. Again, you're gonna be getting your needle nose pliers, holding the bolt and unscrewing the screw. Please remember that there's plastic white spacers on the outside. You're gonna need to hold on to those. So go ahead and slide out your screw with the other spacer. Okay. Place that down, and then you take up very carefully, holding the wheel bearing, the spacer. So I just hold on one side, put my wheel through the center, okay? Bring the spacer back on the other side again. Set it back into place. It's easy if you go in there from the back side. I just figured that out. And then it just fell apart like I knew it would. Okay, do this again. Ball bearing, spacer. We're really working on an even surface here. Nevertheless, okay. Okay. Coming in from the interior portion inside, getting our screw, finding the center of the wheel, in the center of the wheel there, push it in. That's all good like that. Get our white spacer, put that in. Get our nut, put that onto the screw. It's just the night, man. Just the way the night is. There. We don't want to over torque this. Just want to get it snug. Just like that. And then we're going to do the other side. Reverse hands. Remember your spacer. Move the spacer out. Get your next wheel, interior wheel. There you go. Go from the interior portion in this way. Don't go this way, it's not gonna fit. Go this way. And put your screw on the inside, find the center. Just like that. Put your white spacer, your nut. Come on. Okay. The things we do to get ready for the next day. Oh, Jesus. I have to edit all this out. I may leave it in there so y'all can see. Ah. Screws are so damn small. When you think you got it, you ain't got it. Small deal, man. Why does it keep spinning? Had the screwdriver in reverse. Had the damn thing in reverse. It's always the operator. Oh man. It's always the operator. It's never the product. I was like, why? There it is. I got my drill on very low setting. I don't want to over torque it. There. So that goes one side right there. Come back for the next side. Okay, for the next part, we got our other four wheels on, the other two wheels on the front side, which is right here, ready to put the motor in. It goes right here in this slot. As you can tell, this has an opening on this side for the cord to come out. Okay, that's the opening that goes, and it slided right into here, into this. That's how it's going to sit. But I'm already seeing that we're going to have to flex this together a little bit. I mean, I am going to need two hands to do this. We're going to have to flex. See that spacing that's going on right there? See how the hole's not lining up? So when I go to put the second half on top, I'm going to, since it's top heavy, see it wants to automatically do that, I'm going to get that top screw, because these two got to go on together. Okay? They're going to flex on together to put it into place. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that right now. Or I can do it like I did it before. When I go to typically take the motors out, I typically don't have to take everything apart. Let me see. It's gonna go into here. See, I'm gonna have to push and flex it together to hold it in place. See, because this is top heavy, and it wants to just go where it wants to go, and that's not gonna happen today. I already got a screw here. Wonder if I put a screw here first. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna screw this screw in. Maybe that'll hold it in place. Okay. And then I'm gonna get the other one as well. I'm gonna get this whole flange screwed in. Maybe that'll hold it in place. Okay. I was thinking, yeah, just because it has these, oh gosh, it has this rubberized washer, it would have held it in place. I'm gonna put this damn washer back. Oh God. Okay. Push it through that washer. Okay. Kind of gives me, see, that kind of holds it in place there. Good. Get this crap to this thing now so it stops tipping over on me. There. Perfect. All right. All right. Now this big puppy goes on just like this. Probably gonna have to screw it a little bit just to get it started. There it is. There. Now I can put my washer. She's good to go. My needle nose pliers. Here they are. Okay. There it is. Hold it in place. Make sure I don't have too much torque. And then we're gonna go ahead and do it for the same thing for the other side. Okay? One of these sides this side's gonna overlap over here, and this side's gonna overlap over there. So that's the way that comes. Now we have two more screws over here on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna get those done. So once you got your screws to tie up the motor and keep the motor in, now we're ready to put the wheel on. Just wanted to see how the fitment was on this. First, I'll take this back apart so that you can see. Okay, first you got your wheel, okay, with your assembly that you have here. You're gonna wanna go ahead and put your brace bracket on to it like that. And then you're gonna start to thread that into the hole where your wheel is going to go. And then on the interior part, okay, you put your washer on the inside, and then you put your 1/2-inch nut. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and hold it all together. And then you're going to go ahead and ratchet it down. You want to snug it enough where your wheel's going to Your reel is gonna rotate, okay? But you don't wanna crack anything. Also too, here is where we're gonna be putting our other screw that's gonna go through here, and then the washer and the nut goes right here. So you're gonna do that for both sides, and then, okay, look what I just found. I went to go put on the second side tire, or side wheel tire, and come to find out, on this exterior side, they have the hole, but on this side, they don't. They don't even have the hole for the mounting that goes right here if it got to drill this side completely. Now I got to go ahead and drill this side. Oh, Jesus, man. Never fails. Good job, Hammerhead. And of course, my hole is going to be different now. How the unit's going to be. And that's just the way it is. Oh, God. I tell you. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. And that's the way it is. All the time. And that's the way it is. This should be the one. that's the way it is. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Last step that we're going to be needing is these screws. These screws is what goes through here. Actually, it's just going to be the screw that's going to be going through there. Get the screw off of this washer. This screw goes through the bottom side, right through there, and then your washer goes, and then with a nut. But unfortunately, just like everything else that happened with this build, this screw actually was a screw that was for my motor mounting plate. Now, what I said before earlier in the video, the brackets that come with from your old, the brackets from your old one, the hardware, you're gonna need that hardware because it doesn't come with that hardware. And this bolt, and I lost one through the backside of my my truck here. Once anything goes between the tailgate and the truck, is gone. You gotta remove the whole bumper. And the way I know that is I had to have my bumper repositioned. They were doing some detailing on it. They had to remove it, whatever the case is. And stuff started falling out from the back of it. But anyway, this screw, plus another one that I lost, this one actually is cross-threaded and I couldn't use it. So I used, these are the same screws that screw in to hold the motor to the side of the unit. I ended up having to use that motor to, this screw from that bolt. I'm gonna have to go to the hardware store tomorrow and pick these screws up. These have to be stainless steel, okay? So these go along with these washers, the very thin washers with the small hole. These goes on through there so that this can actually finish. So all in all, that's how it's going to be done right there. I am halfway in front. Oh, forgot one last thing. Got to put up the screw for the motor. We'll do that right now. It's very simple enough. Let's get this done real quick. Very simple to do. Had to drill my own holes, but that's all right. As long as I get the job done where I can use my machine. I'm just gonna use the new screw. That just goes right onto there. Okay, screws right up. Go get them. Just like that. Okay, all in all, this is how you reassemble a new hammerhead. Each half ran me about $100, and then the yoke was another $106. We used came with the new braces for both sides, which is great. You reuse most of my hardware, and reuse the tires. I am going to be buying new center wheels because they are a little bit wasted, but nevertheless got all our wheels in. So I have a brand new hammerhead. I'm going to be getting the new stainless steel screws. I'm going to be taking this one to the hardware store and getting a new one along with my thing, and then this job will be all done for the most part. At least I'll be able to use it for tomorrow. Thanks for the late night review. On to the next one. There's always trials and tribulations to everything, but we get through it all the time, you and I. This is the true things of how being a pool guy was all it entailed to do to get the job done right for your clients. Thank you so much. Have a good night.